All right, welcome back. So in the previous video, we used Labelbox to define topics that the chatbot cannot answer, known as guardrails. This time we'll build a custom model to replace that OpenAI foundation model that we use in the chatbot. So let's get started. So there are two common ways of building custom chatbots. One is fine-tuning and one is retrieval. Retrieval is really useful when you need to reference internal documents that are specific to your organization. We do have a blog post on that, but for today's example, let's go ahead and build a dataset that we can use to fine-tune a custom model. So let's head over to our catalog. And again, I'm going to reference our dataset of 100,000 Ultra Chat prompts. So instead of now identifying topics that our chatbot needs to avoid, let's go ahead and identify those topics that our chatbot is engaged with. As you can see here, I went ahead and created a slice already to save you some time. To start off, we'll use some semantic search, in this case similarity search, where I have identified 3 samples of prompts I want to use. And it's going to use similarity search and find similar examples across my 100,000 prompts. Next, we can again use brute force and look for keywords that may pertain to my topic of interest, in this case coffee or tea. Next, we can again use semantic search to search across coffee or tea using natural language search. And lastly, we want to exclude those examples that contain politics. Right? So remember earlier, I ran Google Gemini Pro, and all those examples may or may not include the political prompts that we want to exclude. So this is now saved, and now I have a list of 182 prompts that I can use to generate some domain responses. So now let's head over to our Annotation tab. And now let's go ahead and create a new project because we now need to create responses for each one of those identified prompts that we need to answer. So let's go ahead and choose LLM data generation, where we need to generate responses to uploaded prompts. Let's hit next, give our dataset a name, and save the project. The next step is to add the data. So we'll add all the data rows from our slice. And lastly, let's go ahead and set up the ontology, which again provides that guardrail as to what response we need from our annotators for each of the highlighted prompts. As you can see here, I have an ontology created already. And the ontology here is fairly simple. Given the corresponding prompts, let's have the annotators respond with the answer. Let's go ahead and save our selection. And now your team of annotators can now start the labeling process by providing responses to each one of the given prompts. If you need additional help or label your project faster, you can leverage our Boost Express, where we provide a team of experts to help you label those prompts for you with the highest quality labels. And you can also take advantage of the workflow review process to ensure that your responses to those prompts are of the highest quality. So in this case, we can approve the answer. Once your responses to the given prompts are now defined, let's go ahead and export our labels so that we can use these responses to fine-tune our own LLM. And for example, today, we're going to use Google Vertex AI, but for your use case, you can use a machine learning framework of your choice. So let's head over to a notebook environment, where we'll again use the Labelbox SDK to initialize our Labelbox client. Let's go ahead and export all the corresponding prompts and responses for our data set. And as you can see here, we have our input text and the answer that's provided by our team of annotators. And next, all we need to do is to format our prompts and responses to a Vertex AI format, in this case, a JSON line format with 2 key value pairs, the input text and the output text. so that we can start the model tuning process. Once this file has been created, let's head over to Google Vertex AI, where we will now train a fine-tuned model. So let's train a tuned model, give our model a name. We can choose the base foundation model and point towards the bucket where all the model assets are stored. Next, let's go ahead and upload that JSON line file that we have just created. And we can choose where this data set will be stored. So again, my own bucket. Once this is finished, we can start the model tuning process. So in this video, we have used similar techniques to identify topics that we do care about, labeling functions and semantic search. We then leverage the Labelbox LLM data generation editor so that your domain experts can build responses to those given prompts. And then we integrated our prompts and response dataset to a machine learning framework such as Google Vertex AI to train our custom fine-tuned model that's going to power our chatbot.